Well, I spent some time in the military and then became homeless, unemployed, and then I got involved with politics with with Occupy Wall Street. I was doing medical work for that, and then did a lot of traveling from coast to coast several times. Got involved with Occupy Sandy with Sandy relief for the hurricane down in Jersey. And that's where I found my first group of people who were doing van life, and they were using it primarily for first responder purposes. So like get in and out of certain situations, whether it be a natural disaster or like just coming and helping people at protests or actions and providing medical, providing food, and just providing like support to the people and whatnot. And I kind of fell in love with it then and started like looking into it, doing some homework, talking to a few people, thinking of what gear to put into the vehicle. At one point, I had this crazy idea of Gonzo's QRF, which is a quick readiness force, and it was going to be a legit first responder vehicle where we could literally come into like an earthquake zone or tornadoes, whatever it may be, right? Come in and have all the equipment to go in, set up shop, have enough cooking equipment to feed people a decent amount of food per day, a decent amount of medical. So if you come across anybody injured in the field, you can immediately like give them aid and whatnot. And that idea kind of went into the backdrop, and I got back onto the road and did some other things in my life, and wound up in Baltimore, of all places. I've been here for almost 8 years now, I want to say. It's like 8 or 9 years I've been in Baltimore. And the idea of living in the van and getting a vehicle had still been still in my head. And I had the idea of doing it and using it also for training purposes. I do a lot of airsoft, and I do a lot of firearms training with like just friends or people who are like interested in it. So why not? And then use the vehicle as a means of being able to do that, where I can like carry all my equipment, go out to where I need to go for the day, do the thing, and then if need be, just stay there and sleep or whatnot. Like I can live wherever I want. I could do this coast to coast if I wanted with this idea. And then, so I bought the ambulance.
Did you have actual? You mentioned you worked sort of medical. Do you have medical training?
Well, I have CLS training from the military, and then I also have a good amount of hours for street medical work, and that's a whole nother beast of an idea. Like not an idea, but like what's the word I'm looking for? I have pursuit, I would say, or just like the environment is like you have to have like I feel like way better bedside manner and patience while working with people with like street medic side of like the political like activism side of it. You have to have way more patience. And whereas in the military, like if you're hurt, I don't the pain I'm gonna cause you is gonna save your life. So just get over it. Whereas in like the civilian world, I have to like talk more calmly to you to keep you calm and whatnot, because you're really not. Majority of the people aren't really like have that idea of I'm gonna get hurt at this event. Whereas in the military, you're trained like, yeah, you might get hurt, and if you do, we got a medic here to help you, right? We got a corpsman to help you, and so that's the big difference between the two. The good thing about having the military training coming into like activism work is you're more prepared for the bigger what ifs. So generally, like I personally, like if it's someone with like a boo-boo, I'm gonna let someone else handle the boo-boo. But if you've got like you just got hit by a car and you've got a broken femur, like then let's immediately evac and whatnot. So it's a bigger way of being prepared for like the oh my god, instead of the, oh yeah, we could fix that with a gummy bear.
Question. So as a vet, like, are there resources for when you become homeless, or like what's that?
Oh man, that's a lot of red tape, a lot of hoops. I began being homeless in San Diego, I would say, and they've got some things into place for you not to become homeless or to help you get off the streets. But the timeline it takes is forever. And then Baltimore, I was looking for access to help pay my rent, and there's like maybe one or two programs here in the city that help. But I haven't really gone out of my way to try to like use the programs, because a lot of the times it's just people who don't really understand why it is that you're homeless. Like, I'm about to be 35, and back in 2010 I got out of the Marines, and then got to California. Things didn't really work out, and I was homeless. That was like 10 years ago, right? So I was what, 24, 25, and people were like, why are you homeless? And it was just like, well, either one, no one would hire me because I was overqualified, or I was a liability because there was this whole big stink of like post-traumatic stress disorder and people like, beating on people at work or whatnot. And it's just like, yo, I just want a job. Like, I did this, I've qualified for it. Give me a job, and I actually almost became a cop. I'm kind of glad that didn't happen. But that was also where it comes into you're a liability, because I've got a bum left shoulder. And they were like, well, if it dislocates while you're at work, then that's a liability. And I'm just like, yo, I'll put it right back in and I'll continue doing my job. Like, give me a job, right?
Right, totally. So yeah, could you explain a little bit about we'll take photos, but what are we looking at here?
So this is a Ford E450. It's 2007. It's a cutaway, but it's built out to be an ambulance. And turning it into my home.
And are there any issues with it being an ambulance, like in terms of like legal? Like it looks like an ambulance from the outside.
No, it can't have any of the life-saving logos. So your medical stars and whatnot can't be on there. EMS can't be on it. Anything that says medical has to be removed. And that's really about it. Like, even on my title it says cutaway. Doesn't mention anything about it being an ambulance, because at this point it's just a box.
So you still have like a regular driver's license, or?
Yeah, no, you just drive a regular driver's license and you get regular car insurance for it, and bada bing, bada boom.
So 2 questions from earlier. How long have you been working on this? And then could you just sort of repeat some of the stuff you
I got it about almost a month and a half, 2 months ago. And I've been working on it for a solid month and a half now. And I'm slowly building it out. I mean, it's the inside is built out. Like, you could live in it now. The only thing that would prohibit you from living in it is the fact that I don't have plates on it.
What are you gonna do for a heating system?
I don't have Brian saying I don't have plates on it because I don't have a driver's license.
Oh, okay.
And I was supposed to be going to the DMV, the VA, the MVA on Wednesday, actually, this Wednesday, to get my driver's license. But because of COVID, they sent me an email postponing everything, because they're shutting everything down today, actually, until January 4th, I believe. And so I'm waiting to get an email from them to reschedule my appointment to go and get my driver's license, so I can then go to a tag and title place and get temp tags, and then go to an inspection place, get it inspected, get my real tags, get the car insurance, and then I can put it out on the road. And for the time being, it's here in Brian's shop, which is a fucking lifesaver. I actually found, where did I find you? I found you on Marketplace? Craigslist. On Craigslist, I had no idea about the shop, like no idea who Brian was, but I needed a space to park the vehicle so that I could work on it while waiting on getting the tags to put it on the road. And he responded within like 24 hours, and we came in and checked it out, and this is like a solid project garage, and got all the access to all the tools, which is a godsend because I only have 3 power tools. And some of the things that I need to do, I didn't have the tools for. So he definitely like saved me with that. And then I've got space to work with and whatnot. So that's a bonus. This is all the guts that are left over from the inside. So all of these, like, this is like a headboard. Didn't need it, so ripped it out. These are all backboards for the gurneys and whatnot. Didn't need it. They love Velcro in here. Like all of that's Velcroed on. So it came off with no problem. And this is leftover lumber from the build out of the bed frame. But we'll get into the interior later.
Are you pleased with it? Like, how do you feel?
Oh, I love this fucker. This is like El Ambo. It's gonna get a paint job. I'm gonna put freaking, me and Brian were talking about tires yesterday actually, eventually. Like these are good for now, but I eventually want to switch them out. And then once I can get the locks figured out, that'd be great. I'm waiting for that. Good old post office fucking me right now. This was a jump seat that was inside the vehicle, sat right there. I had to grind all the bolts off of it because they were all seized. That was a day project. Know anybody that needs a jump seat? You know, if you want to buy it, it's a great seat. It rotates. It's got a seat belt on it.
I did not know the reason, but you said that you were leaving and you took all that we had in a day. Did you think the world would change because you exist on fear and rage? All you made us do was pray. And did you have to take with you the innocence and faith of you standing on a soapbox made of lead? You took from us the right to think that we could stand and fight the evil that runs loose in your head. I hold a candle in my hand, 'cause I do not understand why you are the way you are, why you took it all so far. Is it fair to say that we had lost you in a day? Did we lose you in the fray, day to day? You did not put a stop to what was tying you in knots, and the evil changed my world in a day. And isn't it a shame that you would hold on to the fame purchased by the names you don't know? And don't give up to losing to the fear that you've been using to justify the voices you obey. I hold a candle in my hand, 'cause you did not
you gonna?
It's got a heater and an air conditioner. That's what's in that box right there.
Okay.
That black vent thing. That's AC heater. And then if I need additional heat, I actually went and purchased a small space heater, which is like the perfect size for this space. I'm also going to install blackout curtains. Both the side door and the rear doors are going to get like thermo insulated blackout curtains. And I'm also going to put one between the leeway from the cabin to the cockpit. And that'll also help with like keeping the temperature in and whatnot.
Does it have outlets in it, or?
Yeah, it's 12 volt converted. I can actually plug this thing up to your house with an extension cord and it'd charge my batteries. And I've got 12 volt extension plugs right here actually. So if I want to like plug your charger in or the computer, boom.
And how's the mileage?
Gas-wise, I'm hoping for somewhere between 15 or 17 miles per to the gallon, hopefully. I haven't driven it that far yet. And the guy who had it before me, he just kept it in his backyard, and I never talked to the guy in West Virginia. Because that's where that's where the vehicle's originally from, is West Virginia. And now it's in Baltimore. And so I'm hoping 15 to 17 miles to the gallon. Yeah, that lovely leak. I have a small leak in my transfer case right now. It's like I thought it was a transfer case.
Transfer case means you have four-wheel drive, it's not a transfer case. It's the torque converter seal.
Yeah, that's it. Torque converter seal. That's what's leaking. It's like a $10 gasket for fucking like $2,000 worth of job. So you have to lift the whole vehicle, drop the transmission out, and then that seal comes out, and then you replace it and you put everything back. But it's a heavy vehicle, so you need a heavy lift. So like a truck repair shop. It's nothing I can do personally. We wouldn't have the clearance for the transmission to drop all the way.
I feel like everything left is kind of visual and explaining sort of like the.
No, the solar is gonna be a lovely project because this back cabinet in the corner is my fuse cabinet. It's got all the electrical outlet, like all the fuses for everything are all in this one central box, and it's a crow's nest of wiring. So I've got to like find all my leads and trace them back to where they go. And then I need to figure out how I want to like lay out my panels on the roof and have those running in and connect to the main alternator. So there's actually two. There's the main one, which is in a storage locker on the roadside. Unfortunately, I don't have keys to that locker right now. Postal office. I've been checking my mailbox like for every single day, both morning and evening, to see if it's shown up, and nothing.
Still waiting.
Yeah. Trimark even knows I contacted Trimark. So I had to track down, because this is a MedTech box on a Ford body. MedTech is like no longer makes ambulances. So tracking down the keys for this thing was like a week solid of like trying to figure out who like to talk to or contact about the keys. Because I found one catalog, but then the catalog was outdated, and I'm just like dying to figure out who made the keys. And then I had to like, if you actually come around this side. Careful of this, there's glass underneath there, like windshields, so be careful of that. But like if you open the door and you remove the panel, there's a washer right there with a number on it, and that's the ID number, and that ID number has a corresponding key to go with it. So Trimark was finally able to like track down the keys for everything. So I have everything coming in, even new bolt posts. What were they? Striking bolt It's actually what like locks the door to the fucking body. So I have four more striker bolts coming in. I have 3 keys. This is where is it? This is how you lock the door from the inside. So that's locked, and this would be unlocked, right? Well, my side entry door is missing this piece, so that's also in the mail. And then, and once all that shows up, I'll have a fully secured vehicle.
It seems pretty perfect size-wise. It's like,
And I want to extend the bed. I'm gonna put a swing arm on the bed so that it'll bring it out another like 1.5 feet, so I can pull my bed further out and have like almost a full-size bed.
So are you gonna get like a membership to a gym for showers?
Traveling wise, probably go with like a YMCA, because a membership there is like nationwide. And rest stops, if you can actually set up tents at rest stops and sleep there for like the night.
Okay.
Now, is it 100% safe? I wouldn't do it by myself. And if I am by myself, I hope you don't like K-bars, because that's what I'm gonna have next to me, right? I've done that. Sleeping at rest stops is awesome. Awesome. It's great for people watching. But with this, I could literally, because I have the leeway, I could park wherever I want and not even have to get out of the vehicle. So you wouldn't really, the only thing that would give this away that it's a camper would be right now would be the ladder. That's the only thing that says it's a camper, is the ladder.
And these are cameras?
It came with a rear camera and a cabin camera. They both work, which is awesome. So all I need for this is I'm gonna reposition it out just a little bit more, because I may or may not put a bike rack back here.
Okay.
I'm not sure yet. There's a step right here, but like I said, I'm busting rust and repainting, and it's sitting right there actually. And that folds up and down, which is great.
sweet. Well, let's take some photos and make sure that we get
Yeah.
um,
Weird.
good visuals, because this is like, I mean, I've seen some RVs that feel schwanky. This feels living. Like, this feels like you're creating very livable space for yourself.
I'm very proud of my stove oven combo. Like, you can bake a cake in the middle of nowhere if you wanted. Like, that's like, come on now. Who doesn't want to be able to do that? Right? Like, because a lot of, there's another combo like that, but you can only use one or the other. You can't use both at the same time. Whereas this one you can. So I could be like scrambling eggs on the stove and baking off hash browns or home fries in the oven, and boom, we've got brunch in the middle of nowhere, brunch in the middle of the city. So why not?
At what point do you feel like you're gonna take off, and start traveling with it?
Well, my game plan right now is to get it roadworthy, and that right now is a decent little price tag. So I'm trying to find work. I'm out of work right now. My unemployment ran up like a few months ago, and then I just got lost in the system. And like that, I guess we're about to pass that $600.
But just $600.
Yeah, $600. Yay! It's actually gonna end up going to Brian for rent.
Right, there you go.
But I want to get it roadworthy. I mean, I can technically drive on it now. I only have to stay on top of all my fluids. And as of right now, the only thing that's got the nastiest leak is the torque converter, and it's got a solid leak on it, and that's a big ticket item price wise.
Right.
But I would like to actually drive down to Florida. That's where all my family's at. They're all down in Jacksonville. So drive down there and visit them for a minute. And then probably come back up here, and I've got this crazy idea for an airsoft company in my head / tactical training facility. I was actually working on that pretty hard before COVID, and then COVID happened and everything shut down. I was like working in a kitchen, and I was actually just about to be able to catch up with all of my finances, so that I could actually focus on my airsoft idea. And then COVID happened, and they're like, yeah, you need to file for unemployment. And I was just like, fuck my life. Roger that.
Yeah, that's so many people's story.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
painful, right?
And I was pretty much just quarantining, staying to myself, and had like a really small circle of drinking buddies that would come out back of the apartment and drink out back. And then I got bamboozled into working for the Kim Klacik campaign.
Hopefully for money.
That's how I bought the Ambo. That's how I bought the Ambo.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a shit show. Man, I met some interesting people though, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
And it's an interesting story to my life. We're not going to talk about it right now though.
Well, everybody who meets you is gonna be like wigged out by seeing this. Do you know of anyone else who's done this with a
With an ambulance? No, I have not met or spoken to anyone else who's converted to ambulances. I've known people who've converted like those Volkswagen minivan, the minibuses. I've got a buddy here in Baltimore right now who just bought himself I want to say it's like an extended 15-seat passenger van. So it's got a freaking it's got a wheelchair ramp added to it, and it's also a high top. And that's here in Baltimore actually. He's like slowly working on that.
Is there much of a culture locally of like people building?
In Baltimore or Maryland, not that I haven't reached out to anybody.
Right.
I've just been focusing on this. I mean, there is a really big culture of like van life and people who are like nomadic and just live out of their vehicles. And then you'll also get like occasionally the people who think it's the glam life, and they're like, yeah, let's do this. And it's just like they hop in and they realize, holy shit, what am I doing? Right? And it's just like occasionally, like the last like day or two, I've been like, I bought a fucking ambulance. Right? But it's for me, it's by choice. And
Sense.
I mean, I can go everywhere I want. It's my house, it's my castle. Throw COVID into play, it's my bug out vehicle. I'm about to build this fucker into a battle tank.
Well, thank you for the interview.
Thank you. I like it.
Yeah.
Any last questions, Janelle?
No. I'm just happy I got to see it in real life.
It's really
Yeah.
cool. It's really cool.
I told some people that, like, before I bought it, when I had the idea of buying the ambulance, some people were just like, what are you doing? And I was just like, I'm buying an ambulance. It's going to be my house.
You're gonna have to do shows. People are gonna see this or hear it and be like, "All right, let's see this."
I could parallel park this thing anywhere realistically. Like the vehicle I drove in the Marine Corps was like slightly larger than this, and you could parallel park those things within 3 inches of each other and not have a problem. So, and I got the backup camera, so I've got like a ground guide to help me and whatnot. So I'm not worried about it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I believe in you.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with everything.
And then security wise, so up front in the cockpit, I'll have in the back there's gonna be a crowbar, so that's safety number one, and then there's also a freaking knife in the driver's side panel, the door panel, so that's secure. And then if you walk into the vehicle from the side entry, up in the galley in the kitchen area, I've got my K-bar sitting. And then if you walk further back, there's the hatchet sitting. And then when my bike is here, because my bike is at a friend's house right now, but my U-lock for my bike sits in that pouch as well. So depending on which way you enter, that's another reason why I'm going to Florida, is actually to pick up my shotgun. And that's going to sit underneath the bed, underneath this like little ledge right here. So it's gonna sit here. So if I'm in the bed, just pull it out and boom, and you got your shotgun and protecting your house.
Which is a bit more of an issue when you're mobile.
Yeah, I saw this video, this crazy video. No, I'm not gonna smoke a cigarette while y'all here. I saw this video of these people who I think they were in not Spain. I think they were in Nicaragua or Peru, one of the two. And they were living out of a van. And they said that in the middle of the night they heard someone like fucking with their side door, and the homie like jumped through the leeway to like start the vehicle up, and he didn't even like drive away. Like he like sat there for a hot minute, like staring at the person trying to break into your car, and it's just like, do you just sit there or do you start the vehicle and drive off? Like, what do you do? Do you get out of the vehicle and go at the homie with a crowbar? Like, come on now, like, do something and just sit there.
I feel like there might be a little bit of a deterrent being that this looks like an ambulance.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a small level of camouflage or something.
Ish. I like the ambulance, but also I'm eventually gonna paint the exterior of it.
Right.
I just want to like make it a little bit beefier, make it like
More fun.
yeah. I want more fun. Like the simple fact that it's an ambulance is like awesome. Like there's your cool factor, but now I want to like
You got 90% of it there.
I want it to be as eventually possible like company van for this like airsoft tactical like thing I have in my head. So like pull up and like, or like you come out to an event or a training day and you see this beast of a vehicle and some guy giving a PowerPoint off the side of it, like holy shit, like that's kind of badass.
Yeah. It'll make
And
people stop.
yeah, that too. Like it makes people like question like, what is this?
Yeah.
If it looks like a military vehicle, I'm gonna say maybe 90% of the time people aren't gonna want to break into it because they might get fucked up. Whereas if it looks like an RV, well, for all you know, Joe the accountant lives in it and he's not gonna put up a fight. So it's like, yeah, like if you make it look like a hard target, no one's gonna fuck with you. Or if you look like you've got weak security, people are gonna want to break into your shit.
Exactly.
I don't know.
You told me about the airsoft thing you want to do, right?
Yeah, we've been talking about it on and
Cool.
off.
Right.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, that's a Baltimore thing, you know?
it is. There's a lot of airsoft in Baltimore,
Huh.
and which is sad because Baltimore City doesn't allow you to legally own airsoft replica guns. Because
I can understand why.
similar.
Yeah.
yeah, too similar. You can go rob the Quickie Mart,
Right.
but like when the cops show up, you're gonna be outgunned.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the interview. It was
Well,
really
thank
good.
you.
Yeah, guys.
Crackhead friend, let it go to his head. It started at a gateway, or so they said. He can't control the fears that he's had for years. It's only a problem until he's dead. Until he's dead. Until he's dead. Crackhead Fred, he made his own bed. The gateway it brought him to what they said. The fears he had for years turned water to tears. It makes all the difference when you party instead. Party instead. Party instead. He says that moderation is the key, as if he had the right to tell what he said. He burned all his bridges to those he called friends. He went and disappeared, I ain't seen him in years. It's only a battle when you fight your own fear. You fight your own fear. You fight your own fear. He says that moderation is the key, as if he had the right to tell me. He says that he would always make good, as if I really thought that he would. Crackhead Fred had a war in his head. He looked up and he found salvation instead. In 12 steps of weird, he conquered his